But now, she glanced down at herself. The golden glow, which had been on its last breath, flared up with renewed intensity, and energy flowed through her body like a full river. What did you just do? Who are you? Her tongue barely moved. The memories of the recent nightmare were fresh. You know, it's not often you meet people here. He ignored the question. I wonder how you got here. He waved his hand, and a couple of armchairs and a low table appeared out of the void. On the table were various snacks and drinks, from Coca-Cola to expensive cognac. Before she could process it, she found herself sitting in one of the chairs with a paper bucket of popcorn in her hands. Well then, let's see if you can dispel my boredom. His neighbor in the armchair snapped his fingers, and the shadows swirled into a vortex as usual. The rapid change of scenery and her recent condition took their toll. Her head was slow, but she instantly recognized the image that formed before them. A dark-haired, middle-aged man sitting at a desk in a corporate office. Nostalgia pierced her heart like a sharp needle. That was her, the beautiful first life that one conceptual bastard had destroyed. Ah, life is so good. Tanya felt reborn and enjoyed breathing deeply in an existence she had doubted. But what did it matter? She was alive. And the reason for that was the being sitting next to her. Yes, without a doubt, being Y, as she named him. Who was he? God knows, but one thing she understood. He was in no way inferior to being X. In a normal situation, she would never associate with him, but now she had no choice. Besides, he saved her. She still shivered. The memories of that nightmare were fresh. She was grateful to him, and besides, being Y was completely different from being X, that old lunatic. Or so she thought she would say. Not a chance. May that brute be swallowed by a black hole. Dr. Shugel, brilliant. I love you. This is what I call the right approach. Only such bold and radical methods can allow one to reach the top. Keep it up, man. Excited shouts came from the chair beside her. And before her eyes, like a movie, spun the scenes of Tanya's torment on the testing grounds. The grueling days when she went through the genius maniac's experimental tests as a guinea pig. But that was nothing compared to the fact that this red-haired idiot had fast-forwarded through her most precious memories of her first life, when she was building a career. All she heard from him was boredom, boredom, boredom. Boredom? Those were her best memories. That was the ideal life that the damned being X took from her. And this bastard doctor, may his black hole suck him in, found it entertaining. Stop. Take a deep breath and calm down. It didn't matter. Tanya mentally shrugged. He saved her life after all, so she could overlook even this kind of attitude. You have potential. You're thinking correctly. There's no safer place in the world than the trench on the front line. The sound of paper packaging crinkled. The bucket of popcorn in Tanya's hands had several holes punched into it by her fingers. No, he truly was a master at pushing her buttons. He was no different from being X. As if she wanted to be on the front. She more than anyone knew how terrifying and dangerous that place was, having first ended up there when she was only 10. She had survived a suicide order given to a 10-year-old girl and received the prestigious Silver Wings Medal. But she never forgot the horror, and she constantly sought a position in the rear. She succeeded. Only to end up in the rear with Dr. Shugel. It was hell. She felt the same fear during every experimental flight testing his devices as she did on the front. She had to get out of there at any cost. She finally got transferred back to the front, a safer option than the doctor's tests. Later, her achievements were noticed, and she was approved for the Army University. That was truly the golden time, learning military science and networking. she desperately sought safe work in the rear. But at one point, everything went downhill again. Why, she wondered. Tanya cut off the bleak thoughts. This was no time for self-recrimination. She had always survived somehow, and this time too. She would survive, no matter what. She looked at the refreshed golden glow. Apparently, he had replenished her energy supply, but this was only a temporary measure. But what now? Just imagining the possible outcome instantly sickened her. That was perhaps the most horrible experience of her life. Hell no, she wouldn't go through that again. The goal was clear. She had to force being Y to pull her out of here. But how? You know, a devilish whisper reached Tanya's ear. You wanted a distinguished and safe career so badly. There was an easier way. I'm 150,000% sure that Major Eric had a crush on you. A couple more years and you could have achieved status through... The popcorn bucket exploded, showering them with corn. Her hands trembled, grinding the packaging to dust. The images continued to change, scrolling through episodes of her life as if on a video player, never without the witty remarks of this son of Marilyn Manson. Tanya searched for options to sway him to her side. She was certain he didn't care about her. He seemed to be entertaining himself now, but if he got bored, he would simply disappear, and she would be lost. She had no illusions about his attitude. He probably helped her on a whim. It was like giving charity to a homeless beggar. He wanted to, he gave. He didn't, he didn't. And Tanya was not satisfied with the role of a beggar. But what could she offer him in return for help? What might interest him? She had no idea what was on the minds of people like him and Being X. Watching him amuse himself, she became convinced that beings like him, apparently, had nothing better to do. And these are the personalities, if she may call them that, who hold the current administration of the cosmos? What a ridiculous joke. Perhaps work for him. Perform a couple of one-off assignments. It didn't matter what kind. Anything to get out of here. Yes, she would have to become his cog. But what could she do? The decision was made. Now she needed to show her best side. Ha ha ha! What masterpieces! Do these two geniuses even understand what a miracle they created? A gravitational bomb based on elementary particle interaction. His eyes glowed with an unhealthy light as he watched the doctor and Einstein working on the design of her little bomb. No, she would never understand these maniacs, neither the genius scientist nor the beings. Absolute psychopaths. All right, time to end this charade. I have a proposal. Tanya stood up and switched to diplomatic mode. I can work for you if you help me get out of here. You can organize that, can't you? Being wise slowly surveyed her. Not a muscle twitched on his face, only a cunning smirk remained. He probably anticipated her proposal long ago and was just waiting for her to take the initiative. Well, so be it. Finally, he spoke. Well, maybe you'll do. But his tone sent shivers down her spine. A bad premonition was brewing, but she didn't show it. Now was not the time to be picky. Now was the time to survive, and she was determined to do anything for it. Will you be my guinea pig? Or almost anything. Go to hell. Tanya felt everything inside turn cold the moment she realized what she had blurted out. She could see Being Wise's feigned trillfulness evaporate, revealing the dormant predator underneath. His gaze promised nothing good. After all, he was a being. I... Her lips trembled. The words wouldn't knit together. She had to do something immediately, or she was facing an instant tour of atonement #2. And she dreaded to think what this idiot could invent. Why had she been so foolish? She was always confident when it came to diplomatic negotiations. She could endure and adapt to almost any situation. No condition could throw her off balance. Or so it was until recently. The condition he set exceeded her worst fears. What did he propose? To become a guinea pig? He offered her the very same role she had played for Being X and Dr. Shugel. She could tolerate a lot, but to go through it all for a third time? Her brain actively sifted through options, seeking a way out. They say that in critical situations, the brain can unlock its potential. And it was true. She had experienced it herself. But the solution it offered now, it was so idiotic that in her right mind she would never agree to it. Big brother, maybe? A tear of the innocent maiden rolled down Tanya's cheek, and her gaze became like that of a hungry kitten. Could you change the condition? Tanya's only remaining recourse was to appeal to pity, throwing her male dignity into the trash bin. Use her child image to the maximum. What crazy ideas come to mind on the brink of despair? Cutie! Unexpectedly, it worked. Being Wise's eyes lit up with a strange intensity. He grabbed Tanya's cheeks and began to stretch them. No way! It produced the positive effect, but such a reaction evoked conflicting feelings. The instinctive desire to choke the red-haired pervert fought with the rational necessity that screamed to press the advantage. Please? Tanya tilted her head and put a finger to her mouth, trying to amplify the charm. Oh, Being X, what the hell was she doing? She could feel the heavy breathing of the overexcited punk on her skin. Of course. How could Big Brother be so tactless? Come on, don't cry, Big Brother. We'll take care of you. He began to comfort Tanya, stroking her head and wiping away her tears. It felt as if her entire inner self was cracking like broken glass. Tanya felt that a little more and she would cross a certain line from which there was no return. It's okay. It's okay. Big Brother won't hurt you. His pupils were already red lakes of excitement. Tell me, do you truly accept this Big Brother? Continuing the act, Tanya nodded. He was ecstatic. Come on, jump into this Big Brother's arms. What is he talking about? What is this damn pervert talking about? Did he actually believe it? Tanya froze, her mind a boiling cauldron. She was straining every nerve to keep from ruining the performance. However, he seemed to interpret her behavior in his own way. Such a cutie, don't be so shy. If little sister won't come to her beloved brother, then Big Brother will come to her. Suddenly, he embraced her. His heavy breathing brought Tanya's synapses to a boil, and goosebumps ran in stampedes down her spine. Her body felt paralyzed. She couldn't believe this was happening to her. Tanya held her breath, struggling to suppress the urge to vomit. If little sister cuddles Big Brother won't be indebted. His hand moved down her waist, right toward... At that same instant, a switch flipped in her head, as if someone had pulled down the lever of self-control. Her body reacted reflexively. The punk suddenly bent double at the waist, his eyes bulging. No wonder. Tanya's knee had slammed right into his crotch. That's a bit much. I'm not particularly fond of yandere. she realized